Hi, I finished reading this book last night and I really wanted to talk about it. For the longest time, this book has been all over my YouTube feed, and while I was ordering a bunch of books during the Amazon Prime Day sale, I got this one as well. If by the end of this video I'm able to convince any of you to read this book, please know that this is still retailing just for ₹99 on Amazon. So George Orwell's Animal Farm is 81 years old now, but its relevance, even today, after so long, might scare you and surprise you at the same time. This is a political satire and an allegory. It sheds light on how easily revolutionary ideals can get corrupted and give rise to totalitarianism. It uses animals to represent historical figures and events from the Russian Revolution and the Stalin era, but it could very easily apply to politics anywhere in the world today. The story uses irony and ridicule to criticize dictatorship, propaganda, corruption, and abuse of power. It mocks the hypocrisy of leaders who promise equality but end up seeking privilege and power, just like the leaders they overthrew in the first place. The book goes on to show how easily history can be manipulated to suit the interests of the current regime, how authoritarian regimes control people not just by force but by controlling information and twisting the collective memory. If you've read this book already, did you notice how the sheep represent the unthinking conformity? They do not understand the political issues or the debates going on, but they can learn and repeat simple slogans. So whenever a valid, difficult question is raised, they drown out the discussion by chanting these slogans. And the ease with which they adopt the new slogan towards the end of the book goes on to show that their loyalty isn't towards the principles, but it's simply towards whatever the ruling class tells them to believe. A society becomes vulnerable not just when its leaders start manipulating the truth, but also when its citizens stop questioning what they are told. There is this character of a horse called Boxer. He is the moral center of this story. He is selfless, he is honest, and is extraordinarily hardworking. But the tragedy here is that he never asks the question if the system itself may be broken. He keeps sacrificing more and more of himself for a cause that does not serve him anymore. His fate suggests a painful truth. A regime that values people only for their usefulness will eventually abandon even its most loyal supporters when they cease to be productive. While hard work, loyalty, and faith are all great strengths, Orwell argues that they must be paired with judgment, skepticism, and the courage to ask the right questions. While the sheep or boxer may not have recognized injustice, but there's also this character called Benjamin who recognizes injustice but still chooses to remain silent only in the hope to outlast it. Benjamin truly panics and makes an effort only when Boxer is finally being taken away. But it's too late. The scene cements the fact that the truth only matters if you act before the opportunity is gone. A healthy society requires citizens who are willing to think critically and take collective action before it's too late. There is another central theme in this book that absolutely cannot be ignored. It's how authoritarian leaders often maintain power not just by promising a brilliant future, but also by keeping society focused on an ever-present enemy, whether it's real or imaginary. The enemy does not even have to be present, but still becomes the scapegoat for everything that is wrong with the regime or even with the society itself. At the end, I just want to point out that this book isn't just about one revolution gone wrong. It's an exploration of how power can gradually reshape the truth, memory, and public opinion until people struggle to distinguish reality from the stories that they are being fed. So tell me, have you read George Orwell's Animal Farm? Did you discover any other central themes to the story? Of course there are many, but I was worried that the video would get too long. Let me know in the comments below. For those of you who haven't read it, this is a very thin book, only 143 pages, and the font is huge. I'm literally begging you to give this a try. I'll be so happy if I can convince even one more person to read this book. Let me know, was I able to convince you to pick this up? See you in the next one. Bye.